Hello, I'm Karen Rudman, and today we're going to have a really elongating experience in our class, and I'm looking forward to sharing a few stretching exercises and some elongation, meaning lengthening. And we're going to start by standing. So what I have with me today for our class is a resistance band, which is not so hard to pull. So it's about 6 feet long. And it's not a crazy amount of tension, just enough so that when you pull it apart, you're going to feel your shoulders, which we're about to do. And then also I have a chair. So I'm going to place my chair near my mat, and I'd like you to grab both. So I'll give you just a moment to prepare by getting these props, and this is optional. And the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to start by opening the hips. So just to review some basic anatomy, your quads are in front of your thighs, and they're responsible for extending your knee. And your hamstrings are on the back side of your legs, and they're responsible for extending your leg and bending your knee. So we have one to straighten, and we have one to bend. So once you've got your chair or a wall or anything, I just want you to face it. And when you face it, you're going to stand in the tripod of your feet. So that's big toe, baby toe, and heel. Your center of gravity, which is the base of your spine, is right in the middle. And you're going to look forward and stand on one leg. So when you stand on one leg, you're going to feel the opposite hip engage. Then you're going to take your leg and your foot close to your bottom, and you're going to stand tall, bringing knee to knee. When you're standing in this position, you'll feel your quadrant stretch. I want you to think of pulling up and lifting out of the waist. And then you're going to count to 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to place that foot down. Let's try that again. We're standing grounded. We're holding onto the chair for balance. We're going to stand on our left leg or right if you wish. You're going to take your leg. You're stretching your quad. You're going to bring your heel to the back side, and you're going to take a breath. Exhale. And if you're able, you're going to bring your knee past your other knee just a little bit to engage your hip flexor and stretch. And we're going to place that leg down. So let's try the other leg. Once again, we're nice and stacked. We're standing on the opposite leg. We're bringing heel to bottom. We've got knee aligned with knee, so make sure that your knee is not out, that it's stacked. It's right next to your stabilizing leg. Knee to knee, take a breath from your nose. On your exhale through your mouth, I just want you to count to 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your foot down. Here comes number 2, big breath. Exhale from your mouth. New cue, engage your deep abdominals as you breathe out. Bring knee to knee. Bring knee past knee if you're able. 3, 2, 1, and back home. Now I'm going to face you, and I'm going to take my right leg and just mobilize my hip. So as I create this circular pattern, when my leg is furthest from me, I can feel all the stability engaging in my torso. And I'm going the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to take the chair, goes on the other side, other leg, standing tall, lifting the leg, going into what we call circumduction, which is just a fancy name for circles. Nice and slow, so you feel all the engagement as you create the circular pattern. And as you know, we usually do somewhere around 6. 6 is our magic quantity. 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to turn around, beginning to open up the back. So the chair's in front of me. My hands are about shoulder distance apart. I'm going to walk away. So the position of my spine is neutral, meaning that the lower curve is present, the upper curve is present, and the position of my head is forward, not up or down. When you're here, I want you to press your palms into the back of the chair, then lift your fingertips up, hold the chair, take a breath from your nose. On your exhale, I want you to pull in your abdominals just around your lower back, and then release. So once again, that lower back curve is there. Inhale, exhale, round that lower back. And we're going to progress this. So all 3 curves are present. Big breath, big exhale to round the middle back. Now let's move up a little bit more to the upper back. And then let's keep the arms in place and round that upper back. So make sure your shoulders are not moving. They'll change position as you round your upper spine, but they're not becoming concave like so. So once again, we're going to round up and release. And again, round up and release. And twice more, round up and release. And last time, round up and release. Now just hold here, press down. You're going to get a great stretch from your lats into your spine as well. And then come up tall. We're going to put the chair aside. You can grab a band, a towel, anything that has some distance so that when you hold your arms forward, you're holding that. So the length of whatever you're holding will be at least as wide as my hands are facing you. The benefit of using a band is when you pull it apart, I want you to think about just keeping your torso stacked over your pelvis. So you're not leaning or flexing, you're just going to pull apart nice and slow, just to warm up those shoulders. Now, once you have a little bit of tension on that band, you're going to hold that and then bring the arms up and bring the arms down. So what you're thinking about right now is as you flex and extend your arms, you are not moving anything except for your shoulders. So we've got a few more here. And you can actually use nothing if that's your preference, or you can hold something as I suggested. Now we're back here. And now I want you to think about shortening one side of your waist as you side bend over and then pull yourself back up. So I'm going to double my band because it's quite long. So here we are. You want to think of a horseshoe shape. And as you side bend, you have the image that your body is in between two walls, so you don't come forward or behind. Once again, it's that stacking concept. So we're side bending here. Opposite side pulls us back up. And we're side bending here. Opposite side pulls us up. Now we're going to add, by flexing forward, we were in this position a moment ago, we're going to bring the arms down towards the floor, and now we're going to actually rotate. So we, again, that concept of being in two walls is right back. So in the other direction, we side bend, pull in your abdominals as you bring the arms down, forward, and then rotate your spine so you understand the concept of remaining stacked. Down and around. And I'm going to face the side so you can understand that perhaps from a different perspective. When I come around, I've really got that stacking relationship. And then you can put your band aside or whatever you're holding. I just want you to circle your arms and then reverse that circle. From here, we're going to have a seat on our mat. So I'm going to face one wall. And as I'm seated, once again, that lower back curve is present, the knees are bent. Your feet can stay on the mat, or you can lift your toes up if you're more comfortable. So keep your knees and your hips aligned, and keep your knees facing your second toe, and bring the arms forward. Before we move on, I just want you to reach and retract. So this is called protraction and retraction, just warming up that shoulder girdle. And after we do a few of these, we're just going to slightly retract. Take a breath in from your nose. On your exhale, think about only your lower back as you pull in your abdominals and just flex that lower spine. Then bring the arms up to the ceiling and pull yourself tall and bring the arms forward. Again, big breath. Pilates breath is in from the nose. The exhale is rounding. The arms are up. Now the arms are forward. I'm going to add on each and every time. Keep the arms up. Pull above the waist to sit up tall and bring the arms forward. Picking up the pace just a little bit, we're going to round. We're going to bring these arms up. And again, and again, and again. Now pull the arms up, sit up tall. Now bring the arms so that the fingertips are clasped, like so. I'd like you to go into your half rollback, keeping your torso as a unit along with the arms. You're just going to gently rotate side to side. So one of my images that I like to think of is your pelvis and your legs are like a jar. You're holding that stationary, and your arms and your torso are the top that you're twisting open. And we'll try this one more time on each side, and we're going to move on with that concept. So we're going to lie on our side. We're going to bring the knees over to one wall, So in this case, I'm lying to my right. It's going to be my right arm that's underneath my arm. My left arm is in front and the shoulder's relaxed. This is the beginning of our book opening. We're going to lift the arm up to the ceiling. Then we're going to rotate the torso to the opposite wall. Allow the arm to drape. Let it fall. You'll feel an opening at the chest. Lift the arm up. Then rotate your spine and your arm back to your starting position. Again, inhale and exhale to rotate all the way over. Inhale to stay and exhale. A mistake that's easily made is just allowing the arm to move and being the leader, when in fact it's your torso and your core that is really the primary mover. Now we're going to add on by bringing the arm overhead and circling it around as we create this side rotation. And again, nice and slow so you feel every single motion that creates your entire movement. We'll do one more, and we're getting ready to go on the other side. So once again, we're nice and stacked. We're lying on our side. Arm is relaxed. Make sure you're not hiking the shoulder. Lift the arm up and rotate. One, arms back up, back home. And again on two, back up. Notice the pace. It's even and steady. Then we're going to add lifting the arm up overhead, then rotating, bring the arm down and around. Fluid motion as you come around on two. Fluid motion as you come around on three. And last one will be four. And you can adjust the quantity any which way you like. You could do 4, 6, it doesn't matter. So let's lie on our back, and I'm going to bring my band just as a prop. I'm going to take the band and tie it around my legs because I want to emphasize the importance of abduction, or bringing the leg away from the center. So in this position, I've got the band just more or less as a marker. I want you to bring your leg out and back in, side to side. Another name for this is tick-tock. So as you're bringing your leg side to side, you're going to feel your core engaged as the leg goes further away from the center. The benefit of using the resistance band is it engages the muscles a little bit more, they become a little bit more active because you have that resistance that really taxes them a little bit more. Now without the band, you'll feel it slightly differently. So now my arms are by my side, I'm going to tick-tock, keeping that 90-degree angle. And if you'd like to make this more challenging, just lift your forearms or just lift your entire arm, in which case you'll have to adjust your range because you'll have to go a little bit more narrow. Then we're going to progress this where the legs are up to the ceiling. So you're going to feel the length of your hamstrings. I'm going to place my arms down, leg out, leg center. 2, 3, 4, relax your head and neck. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now your legs are together. We're going to bring them out a little further and bring them back in. So the timing is a little bit more 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. So my legs are pretty much at a 90-degree. To progress this, I'm going to bring them forward. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. So the stronger you feel in your torso, in your core, you can bring your legs a little bit further in front. And again, 1, 2, and 3. Legs back up, bend your knees. Take your hands behind your thighs, touch your feet towards the floor, nod your chin, and sit up tall. That's your assisted roll up. Let's repeat that. Let's roll through our spine, then lift the legs up into a 90-degree angle. It's a wheel concept. It's a concept of touching your feet first, lifting head, neck, and shoulders, sitting up tall. Now let's combine these together. Here's the half roll back. Arms are forward. This is where we started. Half roll back. Arms up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 6. Pull yourself tall. Take your hands behind your knees. Assisted roll down. Legs up to the center, hands by your side. Legs go out, 2, and 3. Out, 2, and 3. Out, 2, and 3. Progressing. They go further in front of me. And one more. Bring both legs up and go into double circles. 2, 3. Make sure that your lower back, you're maintaining that lumbar curve. Engage deeply. Adjust where your legs go so that you only feel your abdominals working and your back is not arching. Reversing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Let's bring our knees into tabletop. So the knees are over the hips. I'm going to keep my left leg into a tabletop and bring my right leg down. Right arm is up, so it's left leg, right arm. 90 degrees, 90 degrees. We're going to send both away from the center and bring it back. 2. So my left hand is on the mat, but I'm going to lift it because that requires more core stability. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's come back home. Switch. Opposite leg is forward, in which case it's my right leg. 90 degrees, left arm is up. We send both away on 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8, knees in tabletop. Slide the other heel into the sitting bone, tabletop legs. We're going to tap. First, we're going to keep our feet tapping close, but then we're going to change it to be more of a reaching leg, more of an arched motion. Reciprocating right to left, engaging your abdominals as your leg goes further from the center. Then we're going to keep our legs into a tabletop, bring the hands by the side. Pull the fingers away from the ears so the collarbone is wide. Nod your chin so you could place your fist, it would fit. Lift your head off the mat and retract your chin. Now take your hands and pull forward. Send the legs forward and bend the knees in. So this is the beginning of our 100 preps. And you can certainly adjust how far the legs go. They could be lower or they could be up to the ceiling. Certainly adjust what's best for you or keep your knees bent. It doesn't matter. Now hover the arms and begin to press. So we've got 10 series of an inhale for 5. And on the exhale, we're just going to reach the legs forward or make some change. In 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, and 30. When you're doing the 100s, you can certainly put your head and neck onto the mat. These are all sorts of choices. If you have any sort of spine disorder or osteoporosis, you certainly want to keep your head, neck, and shoulders on the mat. That should be 60. Maybe I'm off a little bit. 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, and 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, and 90. 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 100. I'm going to bring both legs up to the ceiling, head, neck, and shoulders down. And I'm going to bring one leg to the mat, but it's not touching, so it's hovering. Holding the calf of my flexed thigh, I'm going to nod my chin and lift myself up. So holding the leg is actually giving me support. While I'm here, I'm going to circle my ankle in all directions, so I'm creating circles, and then I'm going to hold. Now you can have your head, neck, and shoulders down if you wish. I'm going to demonstrate like so. So if my left leg is straight, I'm going to lift and lower in a very controlled motion. 3, 2, and 1. Let's switch. So this is what it would be like if your head, neck, and shoulders were down. This is what it's like if your head, neck, and shoulders are flexed. And we're going to circle that ankle. You always want to focus on ankle mobility. And we're just going to hover that leg, that straight leg. And we're actually getting ready for our scissors. So from here, we're going to switch our legs on 1. Switch on 2. Switch on 3. Switch on 4, switch on 5, switch on 6, switch on 7, switch on 8, switch on 9, switch on 10. I'm going to hold my left leg up, bend the knee, upper body comes down. Keeping my lower leg parallel to the floor, this is my left leg. My left hand will go towards my ankle and my right hand by the knee. I'm going to press down just a little bit. nodding my chin to lift my head up. Again, that's an option, getting ready for single leg stretch. I'm going to reciprocate my legs. So left hand, left ankle, again, and right. Right hand, right ankle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Knees are going to bend. Upper body's going to come down. Knees are over the hips. The arms come up to the ceiling. Practice bringing the arms over the head, making sure your upper spine does not arch. So this is a function of how mobile your shoulders are. Then relax the arms and send your legs forward, just to understand what range you might be able to achieve for our double leg stretch. Then let's come back to center. Take our hands outside the knees. Inhale here, double leg stretch. We combine them. On 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8, on 9, and last one's 10. Assisted roll up, the knees are bent, the feet touch the floor, sit up tall, and let's move on. So I'm going to grab my band, but if you don't have a band, you can use nothing. I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to tie my band around my legs. In this case, because it's so long, I'm going to double it. So the goal here is when you sidestep, which is what we're getting ready to do, you're going to feel some resistance, similar to what we did earlier in our class. So I've got this band tied, and the very first thing I want to talk about is the position of the spine. So when you actually load your legs, you're going to bend your knees, but notice the hips go back and then the knees bend like so. And all 3 curves of the spine are present. So from here, we're going to go into that simple squat position and just sidestep, side, center, side, center, side, center, side, center. Keep your hips level, very level. Again, and this is a slow control motion. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now come back to center. Give yourself lots of room. Take your hands and take your fingers, I call them L's, right at the crest of your pelvis so you feel that they're level. Bring one leg to the side and bring it back in. Then bring it to a diagonal and bring it in. Then bring it behind you and bring it in. Side, center, corner, center, behind, center. Side, center, corner, center, behind. If you're able to use a resistance band, you'll feel this very quickly, but even without, you will as well. Now let's switch. So to review, you're in your squat position, neutral spine, side, corner, behind. Side, corner, behind. Predominantly, your standing leg is what's working. You're going to feel all the work all the way up through the side and back of the hip. You'll feel your abdominals and your back working simultaneously, much like a plank. Side, back, and directly behind. So let's review what we just did. We're standing nice and stacked. We're loading our lower body. We did a few side steps, and we are not hiking the hip as we're going into this motion. Then we come back to our center and certainly do more if you wish. We're in that loaded position. Standing leg is nice and firm. We go out, and the foot that's reaching is lightly placed on the mat or on the floor. And I'm doing 4 on both legs. This should be 4. 1, diagonal, behind. All right, now let's move on. Other leg, I've got my hands right on the crest or the top of the pelvis to make sure that I'm not shifting. 2, behind, out, diagonal, behind, that's 2, out, diagonal, behind, that's 3, out, diagonal, behind, that's 4. Band goes away. We're coming back to our mat. Once again, the knees are aligned with the hips. Your hands are behind your knees. You go into that half roll back, and your knees are in a tabletop. Now from here, I'm going to bring one leg forward. So one leg is on the mat, reaching the other leg up to the ceiling. I'd like you just to take a moment to stretch your hamstring. So try to keep your knees straight, engage your abdominals, and just bring that leg towards you. Hold and release it. Bend the knee in between. Extend the knee. Bring the leg gently towards you on 2. And bend the knee. Extend the knee. Leg comes towards you on 3. Then pause. So from here, I'm going to bring the leg out to the side, down towards the floor, across the midline, and back up. And as I create this one leg circle, the opposite side is very stable on the mat, so there's absolutely no shifting. The tempo is easy. 3, 2, and one more. That should be 6. Let's reverse it. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's stretch our hamstring one final time. So you're holding the calf, you're lifting your body up, bend the knee and bring it back down. Keeping pelvis neutral, knee bends, knee extends, hold the calf. Bend the knee, extend the leg. Bend the knee, extend the leg. Make sure you're not really pulling on it, you're just feeling a nice lengthening, and hold. Release the leg, hands by your side. We go into the midline, down and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's reverse our circle. And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now bend both knees. Make sure they're about, I'd say maybe a foot or so away from your sitting bones. Make sure your spine your pelvis is neutral, so that lower back curve is present. We're getting ready to go into our bridging, so we're going to start nice and easy. You're going to take a breath. The first thing I'd like you to do is exhale to feel that sinking sensation, and just lift your tailbone up and bring it back down. It's a very isolated motion, just your lower back. So we'll progress that, lower back only, and a little bit more, and come back down. My reason for doing this is I want you to feel how your hamstrings and your glutes actually become very responsible for the lifting motion. Now we're going to come all the way up so that you've got a long line between your knees and your shoulders. Move down just a little bit. Once you're in this position, you're going to feel with your hands on your pelvis the symmetry. You're going to bring one knee up into a tabletop and bring it back down. And then march. The most effective thing in doing this is going slow as you lift one foot off the mat. So you feel that weight exchange and the importance of pelvic stabilization. Then you're going to lift one leg up and extend the knee. So now, in this case, it's my left leg. That glute is responsible for keeping me in place. You're just going to lower that leg down and bring it back up. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you can take a break in between if you wish, but I'm not going to simply for time. Gradually lift the other leg, bringing the knee closer to your body. Extend the lower leg. With a straight knee, you lower. Really feeling the engagement of your stabilizing leg. 3, 4, 5, 6. Bend the knee, come all the way back down. Bring your knees up into a tabletop. Nod the chin, bring your feet to the floor, and sit up nice and tall. Now we're going to stretch out what we just did. So legs are forward. This is called your Longson. I'm going to face this side so you can see that a better view. I'd like you just to lift one leg up. And when you're doing that, just make sure that you're try to avoid leaning back. So just really feel your lower abdominals work as you flex your hip. Then cross the leg over, keeping equal weight in your sitting bones. This is my right leg. My left arm is going to come forward, and I'm going to pull it around my right leg. Then rotate the spine. So the head is joining the middle spine in unity. There's a nice congruency as you keep the leg close to you and you rotate. Once you're in this rotated position, right leg, right arm, place that hand behind you, pull the knees in, and really feel the engagement of that stretch. Then lift the back arm up, rotate to face forward. Now this knee is going to rotate out to the side, so it's like a number 4. I'm going to take my hands right at the crest of my hips, and I'm going to bend forward, which is a deeper stretch, and then come back up. So this is a hip hinge. And we'll try this one more time. All right, let's switch and review. Legs are forward. We bend one knee in, making sure there's equal weight of the sitting bones. Opposite arm is forward. You pull that leg in, keeping the shoulder nice and organized. You rotate your spine. So middle spine and upper spine work together as a unit. Then you go back, you place that arm behind. When it anchors on the floor and you pull in, you'll feel a deeper stretch. Breathe into your stretch. Then rotate forward. Open the knee up so the knee and the ankle are in the same line, or try to achieve that. Hinge forward. This is a real easy stretch to feel. And come back up, and it's a very small range of motion. Then I'd like you to sit forward and bring your legs hip distance apart. Okay, bring your arms out to the side. So I'm going to call this a structure. This structure is not going to change. What will change is the motion of the torso as you go side to side. So this in Pilates is the side twist, or the twist, spine twist. 2. The initiative to rotate is the same amount of energy to come back. So 1 is just as important as 2. 1 and 2. Make sure you're not hiking your hip. Now let's go over to one side. The front arm's going to reach towards that leg, and the back arm's going to pull us tall, and we're back to center, and this is our soft. So we rotate, we flex forward, we come up tall, and we're back to the center. Rotate, come forward, pull the back arm up into the center. Rotate, come forward, back to the center, and last one. From here, we're going to move now into a quadruped. So we're on all fours. Spine is completely neutral. We're going to come up on our knees, and I'm going to have you bring one leg forward. Place your hands on your thigh and lean into your stretch. My left leg is behind, so it's going to be my left arm is going to reach up. So this is a hip flexor stretch. I'm going to gently bend over towards my right leg. So I'm pulling out of the waist and bending towards my right leg. And to add on, I'm going to take my right hand outside my left hand outside my right leg and rotate a little bit. So you can see how we're combining these two motions together. Then come back to center. You're going to bring your right leg forward if you're using the same lead leg as me, and bring your other leg behind so you can really feel your hamstring and quad stretch. Then you'll come back to center on your knees again, and you can adjust this to suit your flexibility. Bring the other leg forward, lean into it. Now it's my right leg behind, so it's my right arm. Pull up out of the waist, side bend to your bent knee. Pull, 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 hold, rotate. Center, hands outside your front leg. Bring your back leg behind you. And if you can straighten your right leg. Again, everybody's flexibility is very different. Keep yourself lifted. Then you're going to come back to center, and I'm going to have you come down on your forearms. So your forearms are truly a 90-degree angle. Once you're on your forearms, the first thing I'd like you to do is pull your shoulder blades so that you feel them connect to your ribs. Then tuck your toes underneath. Looking forward, make sure your neck is not extended or flexed. Just lift your legs up and extend. You'll feel your calves and stretch. Or if this is too complex, just lift your knees up a little bit. It doesn't matter. But if you're able to extend your knees and go into this plank, you'll have more core engagement. Now we're going to hold here, and I'm going to have you just lift one leg and bring it down. And lift the other leg and bring it down. It's very important to have intention to stabilize one side as you lift the other. Mindfully stabilize, mindfully extend. Lots of intention. Stop there, bring your knees down, come into a quadruped. Make sure you're gazing towards the edge of your mat. Bring one leg behind, keep your knee facing the floor, reach your leg, hold. Bring your opposite arm forward. Stay here, then tap your fingers and toes and reach away. 2. What's very helpful is when you're doing all these stabilization exercises is to keep your eyes fixed on one spot. Then you're going to hold here. I'm bringing my hand back, so I'm still in this balanced position. Now I'm going to change the direction of my leg. It's going to go away and then behind. So this is a very similar shape to a U. Be mindful of how stable your shoulders are. It's very integral to a successful outcome here. We'll do one more for good luck. Now we're back home. Once again, we're in our quadruped, a 4-point position, switching. Kneecap faces the floor. You reach from the hip to extend. Engage and opposite arm forward. We're just keeping our vision in one spot. Then we're going to tap and reach. Tap and reach. Tap and reach. Tap and reach. And last time, tap and reach. Then take your hand back, bring your leg away, and cross it over. It's really easy to shift into your stabilizing leg. Really think about where your motion is coming from and what's stabilizing your body so that you can create this arc shape with your active leg. We'll pause here, and now we're going to lie on our abdomen, and we're still in that field goal or 90-degree forearm position. So my nose is down to the mat. I'm going to imagine there's a ball, and I'm going to push it forward. Then I'm going to press into my palms and just lift my upper spine. So this is tiny, and then back down. So I'm thinking of stabilizing the shoulders, positioning the head and neck, coming up, coming back down. So once you're in this nice fluid pattern, you're out of your lower back. This is just your middle and upper back. I'd like you to lift your arms up and bring them back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now take your hands right by your shoulders, press down, keeping your spine neutral, press into child's pose. Hold. Come back through your quadruped, lower your body down, field goal arms. Roll that invisible ball, lift the upper body. Arms 1, they lift, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're doing 8, 7, 8, last one. Arms, hands underneath the shoulders, press down, child's pose, adding on. I want you to take one arm underneath, the straight arm in front, and follow it. So you're pulling forward and across. Then round your back and let up, and go back there on 2. Round your back and go back on 3. Round your back and go back on 4. Into the center. One arm underneath, pull forward and across, in between round, go back. Round, go back. Round, go back. Round, go back. Hold, back to center, facing forward. Organize your legs so that your front leg, your hip is rotated out. Your back leg, your hip is rotated in. If you have any discomfort doing that, you can take your mat, double the back, and place it behind. That'll give you a little bit more opportunity to actually get into that fully rotated position. Now I've got my left hand, I'm going to my left side and lined right a few inches above my knee. I'm going to slide it away, and I'm going to go into a side bend and then pull up. So rather than use my shoulder to pull myself up, I'm using the side body to do so. This is our mermaid. Now on this next one, I'd like you to hold here, rotate the spine, and bring that arm forward, but be light on your other hand. Then come back, organize your body in those two-wall concept that we talked about in the beginning of our class. Let's repeat that. We're in a side bend. We rotate, engage abdominals, and reach, light hand. Rotate back, and come up to the center. Let's try the other side. So front leg rotates out, back leg rotates in. Stabilizing arm is in line with your hip, between your hip and your knee. Active arm is up to the ceiling, shoulders are square, easy side bend. Opposite side of the body pulls you up. And again on 2. Breathing out on 3. On this 4th one, we pause, we rotate, engage, reach, make sure that you're stabilizing hand, you're not compressing that shoulder. Rotate back, come up tall. Over, rotate, flex, rotate, back up. Last one. It might be a little even on both sides. Sorry about that. You just adjust accordingly and sit up tall. From here, I'd like you to take your hands right by your hips, place them on the mat, and just lift your heart to the ceiling. And then pull in your abdominals, and then sit up tall. This is very small, but it's a wonderful way to engage your shoulders and create that, to change that forward flex posture that we do all day long when we're typing, just to open yourself up. Inhale and exhale. Now we're gonna lie on our side and end our class with our side series. So I use the straight edge of the mat to really make sure that I am in a line versus legs forward or back. So I'm going to show this to you in 2 ways. The first way is to have my elbow bent, feeling the shoulder blade really lock into the ribs, and front arm is in my stabilizing arm is here. The difference between side lifting in this position and side lifting this position is twofold. Number one, this is more demanding of your side obliques, but also it changes the hip angle. So this is going to be felt, your range of motion here will really be a little bit more shallow. Here, you might be able to lift a little bit higher. The goal is not to lift high. The goal is to really find what's comfortable for you. You always want to have a shallow leg. So I will do a few in both ways. If this is your choice, this is the organization of the body. Hips are stacked. We're just going to lift and bring it back down. So the knee is facing forward. Inhale up, exhale down. And some nice things you can do is just reach the arm forward or arms up. It doesn't matter. Now I'm going to show you as we move on what it's like when you're lying on your side. I have the leg up, and now I'm going to bring the leg forward and back. So this is similar to what we did when we were in our quadruped, and this is actually called hot potato. Very stable pelvis, just moving from the hip. Then we're going to align our legs, but we're going to rotate so that the heel is now touching the stabilizing leg. We're going to glide that heel, then bring the leg up and lower the leg down. A little slight orientation of different part of your quad, which you'll feel when you extend, and you'll definitely feel your inner thighs as you go into this motion. And on the last one, we're going to come back. I'm going to come up on my elbow just to show variations. You're going to hover that leg and you're going into your circle. Stable body, active leg. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Reversing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's try the other side. On our side, we'll start with a stable shoulder girdle, really feeling it close to the ribs, engage your side obliques, and we lift and we lower. 2, 3, Keep it tight. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Progressing to that hot potato. I'm going to stay up on my forearm, but move in just a moment. When you're moving your leg behind, really feel behind and in front. So make a conscious effort to really reach forward and behind. So I admit that I'm not counting, but hopefully you're doing the same amount on both sides. That should be about 6, at least so. Now here we go. I'm on my side, which is another option. Heel to heel. Drag that heel on the bottom leg, reach it up and come down. And lower your leg with control. Control. 3, 4, 5, 6. Stack your legs, hover it, go into that nice easy circle. If this is too easy, you can eliminate touching your front hand on the floor or mat. They're just choices for you. And then we're going to reverse it. Mindfully creating that circle forward, back, down, and up. 4, 5, and 6. We're coming back to a quadrant stretch. Now we're lying on our side. Before we were standing, we've got knee to knee. Now bring knee past knee. It'll be easier when you're lying on your side. Then release it. Knee past knee, heel to the rear. And one more time. Now the same leg, we're going to reach it up to the ceiling, turn over on your back, bring the leg towards you. Inhale into your stretch. Exhale, one more breath, inhale to your stretch, and exhale. Let's go ahead and go to the other side. So we're lying on our side. We've got knee to knee. Pull, just a gentle pull, release it. Try to keep those knees underneath the hips. 3 and 4. Turn around, same leg reaches to the ceiling. Feel the length of the hamstring. Inhale to your stretch and exhale. Nice deep breath, inhale and exhale. Now lie your body in one long line and bring the arms to 90 degrees. We're rolling up. The first thing we're going to do is nod the head and lift the torso. Then pull the shoulders back. Lift your body tall. Round your spine forward and go into your half roll back and on your back. This time reach the arms slightly overhead. Then come to your 90 degrees. Organize head, neck, and shoulders. Come all the way up. Spine stretch and back down. Make sure you really relax your shoulders. That'll really help the success of coming up with ease. This will be our last one. Let's come all the way up into our spine stretch. This time I want you to take your hands underneath your toes and pull them up and lift your heels off the mat so you feel a stretch of the calves. Then anchor your heels and still pull the toes to you, Another stretch of the calves. Then take your hands on top of your feet and pull your toes down and go into a deeper spine stretch. Sit up tall. Crisscross your legs or whatever feels right for you. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope this class will be a great thing for you to do over the 4th of July weekend. Have a good day.